Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
My Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto Him. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivo Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasdev, the author. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is trouble of the heart is almost completely destroyed, and the loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuron Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Okay, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse 20 to 23. Ashrutya tadrishi ganavash parikshit.
Shukratan Shiganavacha Parisha. It's a very good. Shukratan Shiganavacha Medina.
Samam madhushud guru chavelikam.
Samama Guru Chavyavikam.
Abhashitainan nabhinyayuktan.
Shatana Yuktan.
Shushu manascharitani Vishnu.
Shushama Charitani Vishnu.
Astutya tadrish ganavasya parikshit. Samam madhushud guru chavelikam. Abhashitainan nabhinanyayuktan. Shushushmana sharitani Vishnu. Ashrutya tatrish ganavasya parikshit. Samam madhushad guru chavelikam. Avashitainan abhinadyayuktan. Shushushmana sharitani Vishnu. Synonyms: Ashritya, together. Ashritya, just after hearing. That Rishigana, the sages assembled. Vacha, speaking. Parikshit, Maharaj Parikshit. Samam, impartial. Madhushya, sweet to hear. Guru Gray, Cha also. Avelik, perfectly true. Abhashata, said. Inan, all of them. Abhinandya, congratulated. Yuktan, appropriately presented. Shushrushmanaha, being desirous to hear. Charitani, activities of Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace. Translation by Divine KCC Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Yeah.
All that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to hear, full of meaning and appropriately presented as perfectly true. So after hearing them, Maharaj Parikshit desired to hear of the activities of Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, congratulated the great sages. So great sages spoken. Maharaj Parikshit desired to hear the activities of Lord Shri Krishna, it says, congratulated the great sages. We'll see the next verse. We'll just do it once. Samagata sarvat eva sarve veda yathamoti dharasti pushte nihatanamo trachakashanartha rute paranugrahamatmashilam. Translation. The king said, O great sages, you have all very kindly assembled here, having come from all parts of the universe. You are all as good as supreme knowledge personified, who desires the planet above the three worlds, Satyaloka. Consequently, you are naturally inclined to do good to others. And but for this, you have no interest either in this life or in the next. Six kind of opulences. Six kind of opulences, namely wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, are all originally the different attributes pertaining to the absolute personality of Godhead. The living beings who are part and parcel entities of the Supreme Being have all these attributes partially up to the full strength of 78%. In the material world, these attributes up to 78% of the Lord's attribute are covered by the material energy as the sun is covered by a cloud. The covered strength of the sun is very dim compared to the original glare, and similarly the original color of the living beings with such attributes becomes almost extinct. There are three planetary systems, namely the lower worlds, the intermediate worlds, and upper worlds. The human beings on earth are situated at the beginning of the intermediate worlds, but the living beings like Brahma and his contemporaries live in the upper world, of which the topmost is Satyaloka. In Satyaloka, the inhabitants are fully cognizant of Vedic wisdom. Such persons, being fully aware of knowledge, both mundane and transcendental, have no interest in either the mundane or transcendental work. They are practically desireless devotees. In the mundane world, they have nothing to achieve, and in the transcendental world, they are full in themselves. Then, why do they come to the mundane world? They descend to different planets. They descend to the different planets as Masiha by the order of the Lord to deliver the fallen souls. On the earth, they come down and do good to the people of the world in different circumstances under different climatic influences. They have nothing to do in this world, save and except remain reclaim the fallen souls rotting in material existence, deluded by material energy. The king said, O great sages, you have all very kind assembled here, having come from all parts of the universe. You are all good as supreme knowledge personified, who reside in the planet above the three worlds of Tiloka. Consequently, you are naturally inclined to do good to others, and but for this, you have no interest either in this life or in the next. So Prabhupada begins this. This is basically great qualities of all the sages whose knowledge personified is mentioned by Maharaj Parikshit. And what is the purpose, why they come, it is mentioned here. So six kind of opulences, namely wealth, strength, name, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. These are all originally attributes pertaining to the absolute personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada is writing here, 78% of that is present in Jiva. And when it is mixed with material energy, that's what it causes. Actually, Queen Kunti says, these are all obstacles in the path of bhakti. High wealth, like a lot of wealth, lot of strength, lot of fame, beauty, knowledge, because anybody can become proud by having these things in life. abundance. But originally, they all belong to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, being Jiva, when that 78% plus some material energy covers that up, and Prabhupada puts an analogy of sun here. When the sun is actually without any cloud cover, then the light is very bright. But as soon as some cloud comes, then you cannot see the sun properly. So it fades. That actual proper light of the sun doesn't come. So similarly here, if these attributes, mainly, namely wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, renunciation, are covered by material energy, they lose that original power or potency of that, and that's why they are contaminated because of that material uh, energy. And then Prabhupada goes further and says that there are three planetary systems: upper, intermediate, and lower. So when Jiva's conditioned souls have these attributes, which are 17% of what Lord has in full, then they are contaminated. And then furthermore, if they are contaminated by these, then who comes to save them, to reclaim them? And then Prabhupada is going down and explaining three planetary systems: lower, intermediate, and upper. The human beings are on earth, which is intermediate. Living being like Brahma, his contemporaries live in the upper world, Satyaloka. Satyaloka is topmost planet of material world. Earth is intermediate, and then you have lower planetary systems. Um, in Satyaloka, where was that line? Inhabitants are fully cognizant of Vedic wisdom, and thus the mystic cloud of material energy is cleared. Satyaloka is still material, but then, since they are fully cognizant of Vedic wisdom, mystic cloud of material energy is cleared. Therefore, they are known as Vedas personified. So, as we go up, the subtlety and purity a little bit increases, but still, birth, old age, disease, and death is there because it's still part of material world. Um, when pure sattva is there, that is in the spiritual world, still material world. Even these things are a little bit cleared, but not proper, doesn't mention here fully purified or gone. They are cleared. Such persons, being fully aware of knowledge, both mundane and transcendental, have no interest in either in the mundane or transcendental worlds. They are practically desireless devotees. In the mundane world, they have nothing to achieve, and in the transcendental world, they are fully in themselves. Those who are Nitya Siddha devotees and Nitya Baddha, there are two kind of souls. Nitya Baddha is always conditioned by material nature or material energy, and Nitya Siddha who come here to liberate. Like Prabhupada came here, all enlightened personalities who are spiritual masters, they come for the purpose. And Prabhupada further explains why they come: to reclaim these fallen souls from this material world. Mhm. So they are practically desireless devotees, meaning they have, it doesn't matter where they are. they just preach Krishna, whether they are in material world or spiritual world or hellish planet or any other planet, and nothing can touch them. Like I know several times Prabhupada mentioned comments that Maya can never touch me, and I'm always with my Guru. Uh, I never left my Guru, and always with him. So Prabhupada, when Prabhupada said those statements, then we can understand that, Prabhupada is always with Krishna. We can never, I mean, he's never separated from Krishna in that way. Well, and Prabhupada also mentioned one point that I never wanted to come to this nasty world. But Krishna asked me, no, you must go. You must go to reclaim these fallen souls, because that is love of Krishna. And Prabhupada says, okay, I'll go. And when time came, Prabhupada was in Australia, and he suddenly felt the calling came from Krishna. So he said to Bhakti Charo Maharaj that take me to Vrindavan. After the Prabhupada came to Vrindavan, 1 month he stayed. He never ate, drank anything. I mean, they used to offer some orange juice or something, but Prabhupada, like Parikshit Maharaj, he just like full fast in the last phase of his life. And that time, Prabhupada, business is finished. I'm done now. So I want to go back. And so it doesn't really matter. And when Prabhupada was here fully, uh, I was just looking at his video yesterday. Even Prabhupada was not even feeling well. He still, with the dictaphone, he was still, even you can see his body, the big glasses, he's not well. Still, he's saying tick, 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 and he's just translating. And at the last moment of his death, meaning death means leaving this body and going back to Krishna. He was translating Srimad Bhagavatam in Vrindavan, in Radha Damodar Mandir, Krishna Balaram Mandir. Yeah, Krishna Balaram temple, there is a bed. Still, it is there. So Prabhupada was lying, and Jay Advait Maharaj was there next to him, and they were, and Prabhupada mentioning Karanam Guna Sangasha, that verse he was telling, how these modes are affected, and Prabhupada says we should do morning programs to stay in Satogun. Try to avoid this Raju and Tamo more and more and stay in Satogun. That will be nice. So that last video is still there. He was translating that. So by his example, when we say Prabhupada is Acharya, by his example, we can see how he is setting up. And Srila Prabhupada, as well as all the previous Acharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came to show us by his own example how to be a perfect devotee. And um, sometimes when we practice bhakti and we feel that, oh, Prabhupada says, Krishna's Param Karuna came when he took away everything from me. My money, my family, everything was gone. My business was gone. That was Param Kripa of Krishna, because he was thinking like this business is becoming obstacle in between Krishna and him. I mean, in the Prabhupada wanted to, his spiritual master wanted him to come to West very early. But then Prabhupada said, 30 years he tried in India, and several times he was forced to take sannyas. And Prabhupada said, I was horrified. There is one video. He says, when I heard that, oh, I have to leave everything, I was horrified. But then Krishna forced and took away. But then later he realized, okay, Krishna gave this big, beautiful family that, our entire world is like preaching Prabhupada's glories. So, point is, these Nityasiddha devotees, they come to reclaim the fallen souls. Um, what is the hope otherwise? There is no hope for any conditional souls. Prabhupada wouldn't have come here and translated purports in Bhagavad Gita in a very simple language. I mean, particularly, I'm thinking I came to America to earn dollars to get a nice job and all, but I never had any any clue that I will get caught by the what do you call that, fish hook, right?
Yeah,
Yes. So Prabhupada threw it. I thought maybe it's a nice thing. I capture it and Prabhupada just hooked me up. There is no way I can go anywhere now, because once we know that what is there outside and what is there inside, you cannot go anywhere. It's like a mafia world, you know. I was hearing in a class. Yeah, once I was hearing in a class sometimes, it says like Krishna consciousness is like a mafia world, you know. You can enter, but once you enter, you cannot go out. The reality is, and it's a good thing, because the reality is the naked truth of material world and desires is opened in front of us. That we know, well, the thing that I was thinking will give me a happiness or pleasure, this material world, my gosh, it itself is like, cause of my suffering or misery. And it's temporary, and I'm not this body, I'm like eternal soul, I'm going to live. I mean, still, we are still attached with many things. We still have a desire. We still enjoy the material world. But at the same time, at least theoretically, intellectually, we accepted that, we need to serve and we need to go back to Godhead. Now, how does that come in our action more and more is the time sincerely we practice, don't offend any devotees, and keep practicing more and more. And once we clear out all that, and our actions and behaviors will become more and more refined as the progress in bhakti grows more and more. And every sunrise, every sunset, no matter what, something the other we are learning in bhakti every day. We don't realize it, but it is a fact. And how is that? Because we can analyze ourselves and contemplate, like the thing that we used to get upset very quickly, now it become more tolerant. We try to smile. Oh, well, I have been gone through that several times. I know, okay, I'm not agitated now. That means we made a progress. If certain things we face several times, say we know, well, in this situation, how to handle this, right? At the same time, there are different natures of different devotees who are around us, and we know, okay, this particular devotee has this nature. Well, probably if we try to force sometimes to, you know, let them do seva against their nature, try to force them, but then we realize, well, it's not working. We tried several times. Maybe he doesn't like it, That means nature is not there. Uh, so, uh, career dharma, which Urmila Mataji gave, she spoke all on this actually. Nature of person, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. If you force Brahmana to be Shudra for a long period of time, probably he may not do that. Just for some time to please, if you got a seva, he may push and do it, but he cannot do it long term. For example, like if you ask me, work like Enrique every day, come and do construction, I'll say, well, I'll take probably put few nails or something here and there, but I can't work like him every day. Well, he's earning bread, but then he comes early morning, goes late night, and he's continuously working on that. With that passion, that particular thing, probably I won't be able to do. So it's all like nature, and certain devotees are certain nature. Maybe certain devotees are very good at cooking, certain devotees does not like cooking, or maybe it's anxiety, and it's like a like too much exhaustion, right? And if certain devotees, maybe, well, it's easy, I can just cook it. I mean, it doesn't give the mental. It's all about the nature. um, Bodily activity could be different, it doesn't matter, but actually what gives the mental stress more. So why I was telling that point? I don't know why I was telling. Anyway, but Nitya Baddha, Nitya Siddha, that's how we are conditioned.
Every
Conditioned
day
by
we
the.
learning something in spiritual. That's what.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Every day we are learning. So as we learn, yeah, I was telling, because we have a nature, different nature of different personalities, different devotees around us. Yeah, yeah. So every day it is a learning. And the main point is we learn from our acharyas and Mahaprabhu. So Bhagavad Gita is the graduation, Srimad Bhagavatam post graduation, and Chaitanya Charitamrita PhD. One thing which I heard is like Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita himself. Bhagavatam is about Krishna, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is actually his inner heart. What is going on in Krishna's mind? Now, how do we understand that? Because in Chaitanya Charitamrita there are unlimited pastimes where Lord Chaitanya has shown by his example, by his words and behaviors and actions, how to act in that situation. That is Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of. I mean, obviously, Bhagavatam also there, but there are unlimited pastimes in Bhagavatam where pastimes of Krishna's devotees, and Krishna may not be there directly. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was on earthly planet, and he was performing the pastimes, and he actually, every situation, he acted differently. Uh, South India tour, how did he behave with Nityananda, Advaita Acharya, you know? Um, when came to Jagannath Puri, what were the pastimes, you know, during chariots also. Um, King Pratap Rudra, we were discussing that day. He was telling, oh, this is Vishay, I don't want to be. But then later he heard. And then, so there are so many learnings. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking within when he was dealing with all these Vaishnavas, that actually, if you study in detail, and when we read one paragraph, one pastime, oh, this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu behaved in particular situation. He was very strict. He was very strict with ashram since he was sannyasi. See, he never compromised on that. Um, so anybody, whoever is in that sannyasi, what was that pastime where one of his disciple was grihastha and his wife was pregnant, so he came and he was nicely gave the, nightly honor prasad, and he spoke very nicely to that grihastha. But some Kala Krishnadas, who was like, got deviated from the path, Mahaprabhu said, never show me your face, So he was very strict. Grahastha ashram he knows, brahmacharya he knows. If you follow the ashram very strictly, then he was. So how he behaved and what he taught, we can learn from all that. And by studying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, by Srila Prabhupada's life, Prabhupada Lilamrita, and even behavior of our acharyas, um, like sometimes going to the rich people for preaching. We see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu said, this King Prataprudra is Vishay. I don't want to associate with him. And Prabhupada went several times to the rich people to preach. So, yeah, Gitar Maharaj, Jai Nityananda, Prabhupada. So how do we understand that? You know, the essence is actually preaching. And that's why I was hearing in one time, um, even he wanted to meet Gandhi, preach. So Prabhupada could go anywhere and everywhere. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in heart of heart, he knew King Prataprudra, his devotee. Then later he embarrassed him once he realized, well, he's like sincere in his heart. So outside by his behavior, he was telling that, hey, you are Vishay. But then like Srila Prabhupada, when we say that external and internal, Prabhupada actually followed him very strictly. And to preach, for preaching purposes, he went there. Why do they come to mundane world? They descend to different planets as Masiha by the order of the Lord to deliver the fallen souls. On the earth, they come down and do good to the people of the world in different circumstances and different climatic influences. They have nothing to do with in this world, seven, except to reclaim the fallen and rotten souls in the material existence deluded by the material energy. So that's what basically from these sages and how Parikshit Maharaj is glorifying what is the position of these sages who came to reclaim the fallen souls. Uh, we have to be extremely careful with these sincere, pure devotees, not to offend them. First offense in the chanting of the holy name is to blaspheme the devotees who are dedicated their life for propagations of the holy name of the Lord. So we don't know who is who. Particular devotee may not be maybe beginner, but we don't know how much purity that particular devotee had in the past life. I mean, what level. Right now he's practicing, and there maybe we can see, oh, he's a new, and still, we can see some faults here and there. We are seeing the fault, the man with the fault. But then it's just the time will come to know the actual level, or level, not level, but actual extent of bhakti that devotee has in the heart. How much bhakti is there, and in short period of time, devotee will surpass all this particular conditioning, anger, nature, and anarthas very quickly, and come to the platform and practice very sincerely. And we can see how he's following the scriptures very well, acharyas and all that. And some of the habits that we have or nature that we have, it's very hard to change. We have to try ourselves to fight against it. We read in the Shastra, well, these things are not favorable for path of bhakti. But still we understand, well, I'm just trying to do this. How do I get detached from this? Too much sleeping, too much eating, some prajalpa. Well, I'm doing it. I know I'm doing it still. How do I get out of it? Or chanting sincerely early in the morning, just focus on chanting. There are many things that goes in our mind. And when the devotee is like, we try to practice sincerely, Krishna actually guides us from within. Prabhu, you are doing wrong here. And what is our most unfortunate situation when we are doing wrong? and we don't realize we are doing wrong and we're justifying what we are doing is right. That is the most unfortunate situation to be in. Correct? We don't know what we are doing. We don't know whether we are doing it, whether we are doing it wrong. We don't know that, first of all. And second thing is, we think that we are doing it right. And third thing is, we justify that by taking examples from Shastra. This is what it is mentioned here, so I'm doing it. It's right. And Shastra is like Kalpatru. You can get anything what you want. Anybody can pick any verse from Shastra and justify. So it's very difficult. One pastime I was recollecting. Uh, Again, mentioned it several times before also. One time when Srila Prabhupada's disciples went to India, they were building Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavan. So some of his disciples, like sannyasi at that time, Prabhupada said, um, you deal with contractors. Because India dealing with contractors and here dealing with contractors is very different. There, you put some cement, some bricks, some sand or anything. You have to guard it, otherwise next day it gets stolen. That's the situation in India. You just put it that construction material, next day it is gone. Here, probably that issue is not there, but it is there in situation. I remember Jayapataka Maharaj when the construction was happening in Mayapur, he used to sleep on the bricks so that nobody comes. That is Jayapataka Maharaj. He used to sleep on the bricks to make sure he is protected and nobody is coming and stealing him. You know. So Prabhupada mentioned to his sannyasi disciples, you chant your 16 rounds and you construction people and make sure the temple is getting constructed properly. So one of the disciple was, he heard a lot about Radha Kund and chanting and all that. And he said, Prabhupada, I came here to chant on the bank of Radha Kund. I didn't come for this contracting, the construction and all these people. I just want to chant. I like to chant. I just want to chant, sit on Radha Kund and chant for 24 hours and more and just get absorbed myself. Is there anything wrong with that? Chanting on Radha Kund. He's doing bhakti. There's nothing wrong. He's not doing sense gratification. I thought it's hard to answer that way, right? He's doing bhakti. He's saying, I want to chant. I'm at like I just, want to get absorbed. Everything is good. But then, sense gratification. So I was
Association
like
is missing.
surprised by hearing that line from Shilapur. Said, why are you attached to your sense gratification? And then when I was hearing this class, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj explained that Prabhupada said that you chant your 16 rounds sincerely and then follow what I say. If you do that, that will give you perfection, not by what you want to do, he will give you perfection. The main thing is listening to Guru, following the instructions of Guru. What is the third instruction in the holy name? To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. So spiritual master is telling you deal with the contractors and chant the 16 down. It is not with my own ability or what I feel, that doesn't never happens. But if spiritual master is saying, well, you do this, and if you do it and please him, whatever we want, we get quickly. Whatever we want, get quickly, because Krishna is pleased. I mean, bhakti is like whatever we try on our own, we can try today also. Give up all the services, sit down in temple and chant 16 rounds for full day. See what happens. Krishna is more pleased when we follow the Guru Parampara, listen to the Guru, follow their instructions, and do it. Then Krishna gives what we need time to time. So Maharaj was mentioning that Prabhupada has established the higher definition of sense gratification. Not to do what I like to do or what I want to do in bhakti also, but what is needed to be done to please the Guru Parampara. So there is so much to learn. That's how acharyas teach by their example. When I was thinking like, why you're attached to your sense gratification, chanting the holy name on bank of Radhakund is a sense gratification? If it is, when Prabhupada instructed you, if Prabhupada wouldn't have said anything, then you can go and chant on bank of Radhakund, no problem, 24 hours. But when Guru is giving you instruction, he is asking you to do it, and there is a need. And if I say, well, I want to do this and I don't like to do that, then that's basically is not conducive for bhakti, because Krishna may not be pleased by our action saying. Krishna will say, okay, you are chanting the holy name, but you are not listening to your spiritual master. And Krishna Balaram temple came, and now we see how Krishna Balaram temple's glory is all over the world. And so Krishna's plans are always perfect. And when we align ourselves with Krishna's plan, then we receive the mercy and blessings of Krishna. If we are not aligned and we just think, I want to do this and I just like to do this thing, and it may not align with Krishna's plan, then we struggle because that is not Krishna's desire. If it is Krishna's desire, it happens very quickly, and we get mercy also along with it. Okay, it's 8:35. We'll stop here. Any other points, questions?
Yeah, the other thing you hear Prabhupada often say in his books, in classes, that people go to Radhakund to chant to get cheap adoration from the innocent public.
Yeah.
And so I saw a couple of times in ISKCON, devotees reject their guru, who has done nothing wrong, to go to Radhakund to sit with a Babaji and chant. So that's, as you said, and Maharaj said, like, that's sense gratification versus your guru gave you an order, and you decided you wanted to go do something else. But also just that idea of wanting to go and make a show of how elevated you are, that you could just sit at Radhakund all day and chant, maybe not even in those queens, Radhakund. And as you said, there's something higher. Krishna says in the Gita at the end of the 18th chapter that the one who teaches this science to others is most dear to me. So Prabhupada's having them construct a temple where Krishna consciousness can be taught. That's higher than just doing your own thing at Radhakund and, just kind of sitting there all day and chanting. Not that there's anything wrong with chanting, but that's like, even like said, Prabhupada at the end of his life was translating the Bhagavatham. He wasn't sitting at Radhakund.
Yeah, he was doing the same. He was doing what he came for.
Yeah, so that's the mission, and he's engaging them in that mission. That's why we have Guru Sadhu Shastra, checks and balances. Like you said, you could read any quotes, take it out of context, not apply hermeneutical principles, right? Where they say you gotta keep it in context, and then just pick it out. But then the sadhus and the gurus say, no, that's you're off base. So we have to always have that checks and balance system.
Yeah.
When we make decisions.
One thing which I basically, in my experience so far, what I learned is the only key is how much devotees around us and our Guru Parampara is pleased by us. That is the only key to go back home. It is not by our austerity. It is not by how many rounds we chant. It is not how much we fast. It is not how many big services we do. It is, are they pleased?
The appropriate, yeah.
Huh?
Well, there's some devotees don't want to be pleased.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about Guru Parampara, specifically our Shiksha Guru, our Diksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and devotees around us who are sincere and would like to do right. So the main point is, and many times what happens is, as we start growing or spending more and more time in bhakti, start reading the scriptures, sometimes the desire may come, well, let me just apart myself from these things and let me focus on this because it's helping me. I like doing this and all that. But then what is needed to be done, if it is not done, we can try that. But what happens is, by trying that also so much with effort, you will not get what Krishna, that juice will not come out, or the nectar of that we are looking for will never come out. But by just following the Guru Parampara and listening to our Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, if we do that, then what happens is, little we do, just one round we chant or one day we chant, we get that mercy of Krishna. Because Krishna and Guru Parampara is pleased. So that is the only sense. life is like short, and how much we can really do with this human body, right? How many hours we can do seva? Probably 2 3 times we can, 2 times we can cook, and we're done for the day. How much we can do? How many aartis and things we can perform? Body is very human body is like very limited. So with that limited strength, limited time, limited abilities, and so many distractions and disturbances, keys to please Guru Parampara. Then we make rapid and fast progress. Okay, thank you so much. It's 8:40, so I'll end here. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.